Good day and welcome to North American Racing League, our little Sunday Fun Day race. This is race number 6 here of the Sunday racing. This week coming to you from the virtual Interlagos in Brazil. I am Mike Braun. I will be your commentator as well as your production team. And look forward to having you guys along today for some fun. This is North American Racing League. We do run a GT3 league on Thursday nights. This is our Sunday racing series. Cash prizes are available to the winners of these races. So far this season, we've had a few races. Here is our result so far from the first 4 weeks that we've run. Nicholas Rubilar, Daniel Lafuente, and Nicholas Mateo advancing to our finals. And then we've got Aaron Vasquez, David Bozga, Paulo Gadai. The second week, Sven Haas, Jarno Koch, and Lewis Woods in week number 3. And our last race, Daniel Antuez, Chris Beats, and Jackson Resende all advancing to our season finale. Our season finale will be September 21st. Big cash prizes available for that. First place in our overall standings at the season finale race on the 21st of September, $2,000 taking home the win. So pretty exciting. Big cash going on right now for these guys. Right now we are just kind of in practice mode right now. Got about 20 cars registered for this session. And we will just kind of watch some of the practice going on right now. So got about 10 minutes left in practice. But not a whole bunch of action going on. We'll watch a few cars get run around here. The top 3 finishers in this race will get $100 cash. And the top 10 all get $15 iRacing credits. A lot of fun's getting kicked out here. We're on board right now with Scott Reister, who is actually the head of North American Racing League. One that's kind of in charge of all of this. Scott loves to get back to the community. And the NARL Racing League on Thursday nights is a fantastic showcase of some great talents. Next season will be coming up soon. We've just finished our sign-ups for it. But make sure you guys check us out, NorthAmericanRacingLeague.com. About 9 minutes left in this practice session. Let's do a little onboard here with Nicholas Mateo. Race to advance him into the finale right off of week 1. But looks like Ricardo Rico is going on the inside of him into turn 1 into the Senna S's. Real tricky section there. It's a lot of heartbreaking, a lot of good passes coming into that first section. And it is for coming down straight right now into turn 4. Another pretty good passing zone, but It's that typical commentator's curse for doing a ride along with somebody. So we'll jump over to Devin Jenkins. Another Porsche down into turn 1 here into that Senna S. Get just a little bit of curve on this out, and then you want to carry as much speed out of this outer curve here as you can. And this is where like we showed earlier, good passing zone, good braking zone in here. Double apex, you want to swing in, but you don't want to go too far out here. You can get off track. The off tracks are real easy to get on this track as we're going up to turn number 6 and 7. Kind of an awkward double apex uphill. Get in hard into braking here into turn 9. You go down this downhill section, down in first, second gear. Coming up into turn number 10. Good under apex here. Watch your speed out. The car does get a little light through here. And just lift just a tiny little bit through here. Drag out here, but you want to be careful. The track limits have really changed on that spot there, on that outer limit. It carries much speed on that outer curve to stay in limits. Drive it up the hill and drive it down the front straightaway, and that will complete one lap around Interlagos with Devin Jenkins. Devin come across the line with a 1:34.2 that time back. We'll see what all the gaps look like from top to bottom. Ricardo Rico in the pits right now. The 1:31.8. Nicholas Rubelar in second. Nicholas Mateo showed in third, just a tenth of a second, just over a tenth of a second back. Jackson Resende sitting in the 4th spot right now in practice. Daniel Lafuente rounding out your top 5 right now. See what everybody is running right now. You've got Rico with an Acura, Rubelar with a Mercedes, Mateo with a Porsche, Jackson with a BMW. Top 4, all different cars. We got about 5 minutes left in practice here. We'll let everybody run a little bit, and then we'll jump back here again shortly. Once again, this is the North American Racing League here on some Sunday fun racing. much concludes practice here for this session. Once again, this is our North American Racing League Sunday cash races. Top 3 non-advancing drivers will advance into our season finale September 21st. So let's see how our results from practice look like, just to see who was fast. So it looks like Ricardo Rico with a 131.8 was your fast lap. Nico Rubelar in the second spot, less than half a hundredth of a second back there. And then you got Nicholas Mateo, 1.178 seconds back in third. Jarno Koch in the fourth spot. Jackson Resende in fifth. Daniel Lafuente in sixth. Paulo Gadai in seventh. Norbert Lettner in the eighth spot. Scott Reister in ninth. And Lucas Souza in the 10th spot. It is time for qualifying. See what these guys can do for some qualifying action. We get 3 laps qualifying with North American Racing League. Everybody just getting out on their out laps right now. So again, top 3 non-finishers or non-advancing finishers will move on into the season finale. So our current season finale guys advancing right now: Nicholas Rubelar, Daniel Lafuente, Nicholas Mateo from week 1, then Aaron Vasquez, David Bozga, and Paulo Gadai in week 2. Sven Haas, Jarno Koch, and Lewis Woods in week 3. Then Daniel Antonez, Chris Beats, and Jackson Resende qualifying for the season finale last race 2 weeks ago. Who's going to add to that list? Who's going to get a chance to race for some big cash at the end of the season? And who's going to win the $100 in the top 3 spots today? Everybody just starting to get going right now. Everybody just getting out on their out lap. Ricardo Rico already purple on every sector right now. Let's see where he's coming at. Towards the end of his lap right here. Looks like he's going to be the one to set the pace coming up the front straightaway, that uphill front straightaway. Rico crosses the beams. 131.7, setting the bar pretty high for these guys on that first out lap. Sorry to hear that, Farmer Mark. Having some internet issues. Trying to get into this race, was only able to get 1 practice lap in. You've got a couple more weeks to get scheduled up. Next race has been announced on the 15th. So in 2 weeks, we'll be running at Spa in 2 weeks. Schedule's up on our YouTube as well. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that way you can see what's coming up. Tracks after Spa have not been announced yet. So got plenty more racing, plenty of different tracks to come up. Definitely like to mix it up a little bit and see what kind of action we can get into here. Norbert Lettner with all green sectors coming towards the end here. Coming up the front straight. See what kind of time Norbert can cross the line with. 4th overall in the Ferrari. On board with Nico Rubelar. Thank you, Farmer Mark. Appreciate the kind words. Best looking iRacing broadcast I've seen. Obviously, I've not seen very many. If you're holding me to that high of quality, I am just a solo man doing this for fun, having some fun with this, and I hope you enjoy watching. Just over halfway through qualifying, most of these guys getting onto their 2nd and 3rd lap here. Rubelar got a couple green sectors here. Let's see if he can get a little bit quicker on his 132.0. And nope, 132.02. So does not improve. Still able to hang on to that 2nd spot. Everybody else kind of in some orange sectors. Nathan Nickerson with some green sectors coming down here towards the bottom of the track. See how he can get the Porsche around. Nathan looking to improve on his 133.5. Cutting it close on against that inside line. 134.2. So it does improve a little bit. Gives him a 133.2. Timing is really weird on the bottom down there. Able to improve up into that 12th spot. See who else we've still got out on the track. Devin Jenkins. Jose Duello. Good mix of cars today. Corey Cook rocking the Mustang. Looks like the sole Mustang out there today. Cars finishing up the last few laps, getting a little practice laps in. There you go, Braga trying to get a lap in here towards the end. Does not have a qualified lap yet. This is an open lobby, so this is all fair game for anybody that wants to join. This is not a locked up session, so we will have a diverse ability level. iRating is a very wide range here. If we pull the iRating out on these guys, you see Miguel Bragda with a C rating just over a 1K. And then you see the guys at the top of the board. Rico with a 9.6, Rubelar 7.3, Yarno Coach with a 10,000 iRating. So definitely wide rating of iRating. Tends for some interesting racing at times, but we will see what kind of action we got as we've got about 40 seconds left. Looks like Miguel is the only one left on the track trying to get some final laps in. Trying to push himself up, sitting 17th right now. Coming around the last section right here to come up the front straight one final time. Should be able to get across. Doesn't get an off track there. This track is definitely really tricky for off tracks. qualifying has finished. Was not able to get that time in, but will start in the 17th spot. So looks like we are complete here with that. Let's take a look at our grid. Starting on the pole, you got Ricardo Rico with a 131.7. Nicholas Rubelar in the second spot, just 0.2 of a second back. Then you've got Jarno Koch in third, Jackson Resende in fourth, Paulo Gadai Batista in the fifth spot, Norbert Lettner in sixth, Daniel Lafuente in seventh, Scott Reister in eighth, Scott Kimbrough in the ninth spot, Jack Jeffries in 10th, Lucas Souza in 11th, Nathan Nickerson will be in the 12th spot. Then in the 13th spot, Trivadar Palau with Anthony Wayand in the 14th spot, Jose Duello in 15th, Devin Jenkins in 16th, Miguel Bragda, who we were just watching there at the end, in the 17th spot, Martin Winderwell in the 18th, Corey Cook in 19th, Troy Thiem in the 20th spot. And then not qualifying, Nicholas Mateo did have a time, but it was pretty slow for him, sitting in the 21st spot. Not sure if he will be gridding up or not. And then you've got Ricardo, Tiago, Temu, Bernard, Augustine, Aldo, and then there's our guy Mark. Not able to get laps in, sitting this one out possibly. But we are getting ready to get everybody gridded up, as we've got the short parade lap here. Let's see what kind of camera we can get at here to look at. Getting everybody set up and ready to go. Weather for today, 73 degrees, the track temp is 79, so a good calm temperature for the track temp should lead to some great racing. Pace car leading them around for one final time to come around. So we're starting to come around that last turn, looking at that long front straightaway. Waiting for them to come around. That slow, long trundle up the front straightaway. Pace car leading them nice and slow. Rico and Ular on the front row. Straightaway, and we are green. Ricardo Rico gets a good hole shot. Nicholas Rubelar tucks in behind in that second spot. We've got some jockeying going on back there. Do not see any incidences yet. Good clean start so far. Looks like we've got a couple cars wrecking right now, so we'll jump back to those here shortly. We'll just kind of see where everybody's coming down into turn number 4. Rubelar is tucked in behind Rico, and they've already opened up to almost a 1.5 second gap on Jarno. lap here, and we'll go back and see what happened. We got Ricardo Rico out in front, Nicholas Rubelart in second, and then in third, you've got Jarno Koch. Jackson Resende in fourth. Norbert Leitner in the fifth spot. Back up front with our leader, Ricardo Rico, opening up about just over half a second gap now on Nicholas Rubelart. Good battle back here. Jackson Resende and Norbert Leitner looking for a place to get by. Getting a good draft up that front straightaway. Otherwise, tucks back in behind Jackson as they continue to go. Senna S's. Looks like he may have just missed the brake zone a little bit. Got a little hairy. Probably heated up those tires a little bit. And overheated them just a tad. Caused him to spin out and drop back. No harm, no foul. Luckily, no did not hit anybody, did not hit the wall. So luckily for him, he's able to continue with no problems. Resende still sitting in that 4 spot. He's got Norbert Leitner and Daniel Lafuente in tow. This is an hour and 20-minute race, so there'll be pit stops. There'll be plenty of opportunity. Can't always win in turn 1, but you can definitely lose out in turn 1. Starting to stretch out just a little bit now. Everybody getting pretty settled in. Closest battle right now is for that 4th, 5th, and 6th spot with Jackson, Norbert, and Daniel. Send in a long time NARL racer. Best pro, I think, since pretty much the beginning of North American Racing League on Thursday nights. Good to see some regulars in this. And then also there's been plenty of regulars on the Sunday group. Jackson starting to pull away close in on Norbert Lechner. This is our closest battle right now on the track. 5th and 6th. For the 7 spots. Jack Jeffries here. Scott Kimbrough right behind him. Must have been a connection issue for Pollard. He is still sitting in that 7th spot just ahead of these guys here. Cook getting by Martin Winterville. Little American muscle going by some German muscle in that Mercedes up into the front straightaway now. Starting to close that gap on Norbert now. Just 0.3 of a second behind coming into that kind of a hairpin. Run a 55% fuel cap on these, so they will not go a full hour. So this is a little bit of strategy. You do get one fast repair just in case something does happen. Saw a couple guys with a little bit of front end damage. I think it was Nathan here, possibly. We had one of the cars back here towards the back. A little bit of damage. Mateo still sitting in the pits there. Yeah, there's Jose Duello having lost that front clip on it. He'll get that repaired during his first pit stop. Jose running in 15 spots. Right about where he started. Puerto Rico out in front. Their pole sitter. Open up to a 1 second advantage on Nicholas Rubelar. Puerto Rico leading down. In the second spot still is Nico Rubelar. Third spot, Jarno Koch. On 12 minutes down, so we got still lots and lots of racing action to go here. Got the battle between the Scots back here. Got Lucas Souza in the 8th spot and Scott Kimbrough in 9th. Scott Reister the 10th spot. Three-way battle of McLarens. Take over that 9th spot now. Souza in 8th, going to start coming under attack here from Scott Reister possibly. Reister closing that gap on Souza, 0.4 of a second back. With 55% fuel, you guys should be able to make it to about the 40-minute mark, 35-minute mark. See how fuel saving goes. Some of these guys tucked up in a draft, they could definitely save some more fuel. Battle, three-way battle there. Lucas, Scott, and Scott going at it. Reister here as he makes a pass up on Lucas Souza coming up the front straightaway. It's a good drive out of that last turn. Did a similar move with Scott Kimbrough, but taking the outside line down into the front straightaway. Reister hard under the brakes. And Lucas just tucks in behind. Here comes Kimbrough right there as well. Good three-way battle with these guys here. Has anything to come back with Scott. I don't know if this is a long enough run here, but does not look like it. They settle in and look to continue on. Let's see what happened to Thiago Ventura here in the Porsche. Looks like he just went off the track and decided to call it a race. Not quite sure what happened there. Maybe just decided to session. Here is our three-way battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Reister, Souza, and Kimbrough. These three have been at it pretty much since the start of the race. We've still got a good battle up here with Norbert and Daniel for that 5th and 6th spot. settling in pretty good right now. No super close battles. Let's go into Daniel here. Let's come on board with Daniel. What it looks like to be sitting behind. Let's see if he's saving much fuel or not. Wipers to clear the windshield off. That rubber flying off the cars. Oh, La Fuente off the track here. And toes into the pits. Interesting development there that he was running in the 6th spot. Not quite sure what happened there. Scott Kimbrough now closing in on Lucas Souza. This is our McLaren battle back here. Martin and Corey having a great battle back here in that 14th spot. Underwood goes on that inside. Coming down into that long downhill hairpin. We'll get the pass done there. Reister still hanging on to that 7th spot. Lucas Souza in 8th. Scott Kimbrough in 9th. Go back up front. Got Ricardo Rico leading us around in the red Acura. Through the running we're right here now here with 20 minutes down as we cross the line now. Nico Rublar in the Mercedes in the 2nd spot. Jarno Cook running in the 3rd spot, starting to inch his way a little bit closer to see that last lap time, about 1/10 of a second quicker. So we'll have to keep an eye on Cook here, see if he's able to close that gap anymore. And then you got about 3.5 seconds back to Jackson Resende in the 4th spot. 5th spot, we were watching him earlier, Norbert Leitner did have a good battle, but Daniel backing out of the race. And then now up into the 6th spot, you got Paulo Goday. Haven't seen a whole lot of Paulo yet today, been kind of running by himself. And then you've got the McLaren battle back here. You've got Scott Reister in the 7th spot. Lucas Souza in 8th. Spot you've got Scott Kimbrough. Round out your top 10, you've got Nathan Nickerson. Right behind him, Anthony Wayan. Good look at McLaren there. And then in the 12th spot, you get Devin Jenkins. Well, in the 13th spot, still missing that front bumper. A little bit of damage on the rear bumper as well from that start. Martin Winderwell in the 14th spot. He's had a great battle so far with Corey Cook in the 15th spot. Trivadar Palau in the 16th spot. Troy time in 17th. And Ricardo having some issues. Looks like he went off the track a minute ago. Let's see what happened to Ricardo. Coming into that duckbill session, just gets spun out. Can be tricky, especially when the track starts getting a little warmer. But I think we are still in pretty good track temps right now. Disconnected. Yep. So that is our running field right now. We've got 18 cars running on the track. Back up front with our leader, Ricardo Rico. Yarno starting to close in still about 0.7 of a second back, just enough to get a bit of a draft. So Troy time had a crash as well. Let's see what happened to Troy here. Into the Senna S's. Just overcooked the brakes a little bit, spun out. Again, no harm, no foul with nobody around. Didn't hit any walls, so able to resume and keep on going. Back up into that second spot with Nico Rubelar. Battle back there for 7th, 8th, and 9th with Reister, Souza, and Kimbrough. Watching that battle for 2nd and 3rd right now with Rubelar and Cook going at it. Still less than a second separating your 2nd and 3rd place cars. Corey and Martin are still going at it back here. Going back and forth, having a great battle. These two are going at it this whole time. Corey goes on the inside, gets a spot from Martin. I think Martin gets a good run coming up the front straightaway here. Second spot. Starting to close in again. About a half-second gap right now coming up the front straightaway. Inching his way a little closer with that draft. Closing in on that 30-minute mark. Coming soon. Track limit's always a big thing with this track. You want to carry as much speed through these turns, but you really got to watch your off tracks. Right there's not too bad, but in that turn 4 section where we just were a few minutes ago, you saw Nico kind of slide out a little bit. That could have been track limits. especially when you got somebody pressuring you, closing in within less than half a second now. This could be a battle coming up the front straightaway. See if Jarno can close in anymore. 0.3 of a second coming off that last turn. That could give him a good chance coming into the Senna S into turn 1. Quarter of a second back, inching his way closer and closer. Jarno backs off and just kind of might be fuel saving a little bit in that car. Let's go on board with Jarno. Looks like back here. Oh, definitely fuel saving in the Acura. The Acura is a pretty thirsty car. Jarno is definitely fuel saving right now. Ooh, gets a little wiggle. Getting it corrected. Down into turn 9 here. This is always a kind of fun section. Just over a half second behind Lard. Get a little bit more draft off of him up the straight here. He'll save him a little bit, just trying to inch his way closer, I think. As you see, our leader with almost a 3-second gap now, Ricardo Rico, out in front. And you go back to Jackson Resende with Norbert Leitner right behind him. Paulo Gadai in the 6th spot. And you've got our McLaren battle back here. Reister, Souza, and Kimbrough. And then you got a little bit of a gap back to Anthony Wayan in the 10th spot. You guys in the pits right at that 30-minute mark. Nathan in the pits, Devin in the pits. See if Jose does get that fast repair done. He does, gets that front bumper back on. That should help him with some more pace. Rico's been out in front this whole time, coming in for a stop. Looks like everybody coming in now. Everybody looks like they're coming in the pits now. Pits are active right now, big time. Looks like Paulo Gadai now taking over the lead. Scott Reister, Scott Kimbrough, 2nd and 3rd as Lucas Souza came into the pits. You're going to see these guys jump in the pits this time by. Reister both in for a stop. So here comes your leader now, Ricardo Rico, back out in front. Just over 30 minutes fuel for these guys, so we're expecting one more pit stop from these guys. On a 20-lap run, 6th, 7th, and 8th 21 lappers. See how long it took them to do their stops. Seconds for pretty much everybody there. Turn number 1. Norbert able to get on the inside. Jackson looking around to do that high-low move. Couldn't quite get it done. Norbert Leitner up into the 4th spot. Jackson dropping back to 5th. Jackson not giving up at all. Norbert is definitely holding that inside down just to try to block from any kind of move. Had an issue off track. Let's see what happened here. Oh yeah, it got off track coming around that last turn. And must have had a slowdown that let Lucas and Scott Kimbrough get by. All that work Reister did earlier, all for naught. Now dropping down to that 9th spot. Starting to pull away from Resende. About a half-second gap now back to that 5th place car. Corey had a great battle going with Martin all this whole race. Coming down into turn 1 to set S, just overcooked it a little bit. Got off track. Waiting for a clean rejoin. Good work from Corey to wait for a clean rejoin. And loses all that time. Leave Martin Winder will. Resende still trying to put some pressure on Norbert. Down that long straightaway into turn 4 here. Jackson less than a half second back. Closest battle right now. Jackson Resende in the 5th spot, putting some pressure on Norbert Leitner. Battle for 4th and 5th. See Paulo Gudai about 4 seconds behind these guys in the 6th spot. Saving a little bit of fuel there, definitely, while he's in the draft. Getting close here, 3/10 of a second back now. Last section here. Jackson's still about 3/10 of a second back. Looks like Norbert gets a good drive off that last section, starts pulling away just a bit. Make it a little more difficult for Jackson to get a run into turn 1 here. Jackson is doing a little bit of fuel saving, so he's just biding his time. We still got quite a ways to go. Hour and 20-minute race. We're just over 41 minutes down. Jump up front here with our current leader, Ricardo Rico. Out in front, he was your pole sitter. Got that early jump, and he has opened up to almost a 3.5 second gap now on your second place car. In the second place is Nico Rubelar. 3rd spot, Jarno Koch. About a 1.5 seconds behind Nico. You've got Norbert Leitner still battling out with Jackson Resende for 4th and 5th. That is our closest battle right now on the track. Let's see if Jackson makes a move coming up the front straight here. Going through our list here, this is Paulo Gudai in the 6th spot. Then you got Lucas Souza leading the McLaren train in the 7th spot. Scott Kimbrough in the spot. 9th is Scott Reister. Scott had a great start to the race. Went off track a little bit on that last turn, a few laps back, and lost some valuable ground to Souza and Kimbrough. You see them just up ahead. In the 10th spot, Nathan Nickerson doing a great job, holding his own in that 10th spot. And you got Jose Duello in the 11th spot, getting that bodywork replaced on his Porsche on that first pit stop. And then you've got Anthony Wayan in the 12th spot, about 9 seconds behind Jose. Devin Jenkins in 13th. Winderwell in the 14th spot right now, lap down to the field. And then you've got that early partner of him, Corey Cook, sitting in the 15th spot, about 9 seconds back after having that little spin in turn 1. Trividar still out there in the 16th spot. And Ricardo is our last running car in the 17th spot. Go back up to our 4th and 5th place battle. Leitner still hanging on to that 4th spot. Resende in 5th. About 45 minutes down. Just over halfway. Again, this is our North American Racing League Sunday race. Our Sunday cash races. Top 3 non-qualified finishers will advance to our season finale race, which is September 21st. Big payouts for that. If you guys are interested, make sure you guys check us out, NorthAmericanRacingLeague.com. So far qualifying for the season finale, we've got Nico Rubilar, Daniel Lafuente, and Nicholas Mateo from week 1. Aaron Vasquez, David Bosga, and Paulo Gadai in week 2. Sven Haas, Jarno Cook, and Lewis Woods in week 3. And Daniel Antwez, Chris Beats, and Jackson Resende in week 4 in last week. Some of these guys are running up front. So as of right now, you would have Ricardo Rico would advance to the finale, and then you would also end up, let's see who else right now, it would be Norbert Leitner would also advance if we finish the race right now, and it looks like Lucas Souza would be, this is your battle for that final transfer position with Kimbrough and Souza. So this could be a good battle to watch for the rest of this race, as these two guys have not qualified for the season finale race yet. Rubilar, Cook, Resende, and Gadaya are all qualified. So we'll have to definitely keep a battle on this, as this is their final transfer position into that season finale race. So got lots of time to go. 1 hour and 20-minute race. We run 55% fuel with these guys, so they should get just over a 30-minute stint. Pretty much everybody came in right after the 30-minute mark. See everybody here in the top group here. Most everybody went 20 laps. Paulo and Scott both with 21. Also still have Jordan Jackson going at it as well. I think Resende is just kind of tucked in behind right now, doing some fuel saving while he can. Kimbrough, close as he's been to Souza now. He's doing a fuel save. He's going to make a pass. He's looking on that inside line. Down into turn one. Kimbrough making the pass on Lucas Souza. Again, this is our final transfer position for the season finale race. Again, top 3 non-qualifying guys will make the race into that season finale. And right now, these 2 guys are not in it. Neither is Scott Reister back there. Scott making his moves up. He's about 5 seconds behind these guys now, so we'll have to see if he can close that gap anymore. Try to take him out, but not much fuel saving on that sector there. Jarno starting to close that gap on Rubelar. Some lap traffic with Devin Jenkins. Devin slides out of the way, and he lets Jarno by as well. Jumping in the pits now. A little early for a pit stop. Should be able to make it the rest of the way though for him. See what happened to Corey Cook here. Just as overcooked it. Mustang definitely not the strongest car here. battles developing here. You still got Jarno Cook still trying to close in on Nico Rubelar. And then just behind him, you've got Jackson still going at it. And then you've got Kimbrough and Souza running together as well. Again, this is our final transfer position into the finale. You guys entering pit lane right now. You see Jackson Resende in the pits right now. That's pretty early for him. He went long the last time by. We still got Ricardo Rico. Haven't seen a whole lot of him today. He's been out in front and checked out right now. He's got a 4.5 second advantage on Rubelar in that second spot. Right behind him. A little bit gap back to Norbert Leitner. Jackson must have felt that Norbert was holding him up a little bit and decided to do an early stop. You got Paulo Gadai in the 5th spot. Still got a great battle between Kimbrough and Souza for that final transfer position into the finale. Peeking his head out there. Definitely not close enough to make a pass here. Oh, looks like Souza getting by Kimbrough. Kimbrough may have went off track here. Let's see what happened here. Souza on the inside gets by. Kimbrough did not go off track, but Souza got a good run on him and to go back by and take back that 6th spot. Here comes Nico Rubelar in the pits. That cuts Jarno loose and now into that 2nd spot. Tires with 55% fuel, you can only get 2 tires and not lose too much time. Let's see, we have a car crashing here. Let's see what happened to Ricardo. Turn 1, put those tires off into that dirt grass section. Get spun out a little bit. And getting back on the track with no worries there. Straight now. See if he decides to come in for a stop. And does not. Will continue on. 7th spot. Souza and Kimbrough have been going at it for the last 15-20 minutes. This would be your battle for that final transfer position for the season-ending race. Looks like Kimbrough just tucked in behind Lucas now. Might be doing a little fuel saving, trying to make sure he can extend into that pit cycle. So we had another issue with Corey Cook in the Mustang. Ooh, tricky section there. Again, definitely not the track for the Mustang. Corey doing a good job though of staying offline and having some safe rejoins. Still going at it. Closest battle right now is for 6th and 7th. Souza jumping in the pits now. Got Kimbrough loose. Closing up on 1 hour down. We still got 20 minutes to go, so plenty of time. This should be their last pit stops here. See if Kimbrough can get a good hot lap here, not get undercut from Souza. Just now coming out of the pits. Looks like Souza about 22 seconds back. So we'll have to see if Scott can get a good in-lap here to keep him getting undercut. My guess is he will be pitting this time by. Sector now. Cars are still going. Let's see if Kimbrough decides to charge on. Yep, and he will continue. Rico now with a 5.5-second advantage on Darnell Cook. Jackson Resende a second behind Kimbrough. 2.5 now. Reister closing in on Nathan Nickerson for that 9th and 10th spot. Reister has stopped twice, so Nathan is going to need to stop one more time. Reister going around the outside of Nathan. Looks like Nathan just gave it up on him, giving that spot to him. Reister definitely has more pace than he does, but Nathan has been doing a great job. Been sitting in that 10th spot pretty much this whole time. Pit stop should be here anytime, as these guys should be just about running out. Kimber on his 20th lap right now. Stop here this time by, I'm guessing. Souza's still hanging on to that 8th spot after his pit stop. He's about 22 seconds behind Kimbrough. This could be the battle for that final transfer position for that season finale race. Jumping in the pits. Ricardo Rico in the pits here for his final pit stop. Robert Leitner jumping in the pits as well. Now taking over the lead. Everybody's starting to come in for their final pit stop. About 15 minutes left. 14 minutes actual time left on the clock. In the top 3 winners, podium positions will get $100 cash. And in your top 10 all get $15 in iRacing credit. Thanks to North American Racing League. And thanks to this guy, Scott Reister. The man that organizes North American Racing League, organizes these Sunday races. There's a lot to give back to the community. And loves to give back to everybody. Looks like Yarno coming in for a stop. Definitely does not want to get a speeding penalty through there. You want to get hard under braking on that section and make sure you get it slowed down good. So Rico goes by and takes back that lead. Outside of Yarno to take over that spot. He does not stop for his final stop yet. Yarno comes out just behind him out of pit lane. And here is our battle for that final transfer position. Kimbrough coming in for his final stop. Gets it pulled in. Fuel only, no tires for Kimbrough. Souza, car number 8 coming down the front straightaway now. Kimbrough coming out of pits. This is going to be a battle coming out of pit exit. Kimbrough hard on the gas, trying to hang on to this spot. Don't want to get it off the track there. I have spun there before. Kimbrough actually able to hang on to that 7th spot. Souza about 2 seconds back now, so Kimbrough doing some work at the end of that stint. Able to pull out of the gap on Lucas Souza. That 3rd spot in a net 2nd here once Jack Apollo comes in for a stop, and he does. left in the race. This is our closest battle right now for second and third. You've got Jarno Cook in the second spot, Nico Rublar in third. Out in front. Took the pole. Let's see what our qualifying times were. 1:31.7 for Ricardo. And right now his best time right now, 1:31.7, so right on pace for his qualifying time. He has been the fastest guy this whole time. And he has taken control and he's maintained this 4.5 second lead this whole time. Not pushing too hard much now. The second spot, you still got Jarno Cook. Rublar not too far back in the third spot. Cook and Rublar both already advancing to the season finale. Rico has not yet, so he is looking to move into that season finale race at the end of September. Robert Lechner also has not advanced yet, sitting in that 4th spot, looking to move on as well. Then you got Jackson Resende in the 5th spot. Resende moving on in that last race that we just had a couple weeks ago. Paulo Gadai also advancing in week number 2. Sitting in that 6th spot. We got Scott Kimbrough. This is our final transfer position for the season finale, and he's opened up to about a 3-second gap now on Lucas Souza. Lucas currently sitting in that 8th spot with 7 minutes to go. Scott Reister in the 9th spot. Nathan Nickerson still holding on to 10th spot. He's on that final iRacing credit spot. Top 10 guys all get $15 in iRacing credit. Nathan doing a good job of hanging on there. We've got Jose Duello in the 11th spot. Devin Jenkins in 12th. Trivadar Palau in the 13th spot. Anthony Wayan in 14th. Martin Winderwill in 15th. Looks like Martin had a little bit of an incident. Let's see what happened here. I think he was tucked in behind Jose and just tires got a little warm on him. Spun out. And I think Anthony proceeded to slip on by, take advantage of that spin out. Anthony moving up into that 14th spot. You got Corey Cook in 16th. And Ricardo still out there in the 17th spot. Closing in on 5 minutes left to go. Paulo going at it. Both of these guys are long-time North American Racing League drivers. Settled in right now. We've got less than 4 minutes left to go. Cindy kind of pushed a little hard on that last sector there. Gives Paulo a chance to close in a bit. About a half second back. 10 drivers get $15 iRacing credit. Your top 3 all get $100 cash. Closest battle right now with Jackson and Paulo going at it. You see Yarno up 1, Nico down 1, Lightner up 2, Sende, Jackson and Paulo both dropping down 1, Kimbrough up 2, Souza up 3, Reisker down 1, Henderson up 2, Jose up 4, Devin up 4 also. As we are closing in on what should be our white flag this time by. Your leader, Ricardo Rico, open up to a 5-second gap now. White flag waving in the air for Ricardo Rico. And he's got about a 5-second gap back to Yarno Cook. Ruglar about 2.5 seconds behind him. He got quite a little ways, 16 seconds back to Norbert Leitner. But our closest battle still is for this 5th and 6th spot between Jackson and Paulo. They come up for their white flag. So these guys will do any battling here on that last lap, or they will just mind their P's and Q's. Jackson's starting to Paulo's starting to inch his way a little bit closer. 0.3 of a second back. traffic closing in on these guys. See if that plays into effect as the checkered flag is waving. And Ricardo Rico taking the win. Jarno Cook will finish in second. Nico Rubelar will finish in third. Here comes your fourth place car of Robert Leitner up the hill. Come home in fourth. Here's your battle for fifth. And it looks like Paulo's just going to tuck in behind. Take home that sixth spot. Here's what should be the final transfer position for the season finale race. Scott Kimbrough going to take that third transfer into the season finale. Souza just couldn't quite inch his way back up. Souza will come home in the 8th spot. Reister will come home in 9th. And it looks like everybody else pretty much done here. Corey Cook finishing their lap here. Some good racing action here from everybody. Looks like everybody has completed. So let's see our race results. That's our qualifying results. Now let's take a look at our racing results. Taking the win and advancing to that season finale race, Ricardo Rico. Finishing in that second spot was Jarno Cook. Jarno already advancing to the finale along with Nico Rubelar. Nico also advancing from week number 1. And then you've got Jackson Resende rounding out the top 5. Excuse me, the Norbert finishing in the 4th spot has not advanced yet, so he will advance into the season finale race. Resende coming in home in 5th. Paulo Gaday Batista finishing in 6th. Scott Kimbrough, that final transfer position for that season finale race, finishing in 7th. Lucas Souza finishing in 8th. Scott Reister in the 9th spot. Nathan Nickerson rounding out the top 10. Great job from Nathan. Again, your top 10 will get $15 in iRacing credits. And the top 3 all get $100 cash. Finishing in the 11th spot, Jose Duello. Devin Jenkins in 12th. Trividar 13th. Anthony 14th. Martin in the 15th. Corey 16th. Ricardo 17th. And then you've got a few disconnects here at the end with Troy, Daniel, and Tiago. And then we'll go through the rest of everybody that joined the session. Jack Jeffries, Nicholas Mateo, Miguel, Timo, Bernardo, Augustine, Aldo, and my friend Mark. Once again, this is your North American Racing League. This is our Sunday racing. Just having a little fun here at Brazil. Come up in 2 weeks, our next race, which will be on the 15th, will be coming to you from Spa. So it's going to be a fantastic race from Belgium. If you'd like any more information on the league, NorthAmericanRacingLeague.com. We have our Discord channel there. Make sure you guys join it. Find out our next season of GT3 racing on Thursday nights will be happening very soon. Make sure you check back to North American Racing League for that. Until that time, I am Mike Braun, signing off here. We'll see you in 2 weeks from Virtual Spa.